So this week it's the second test of pre-season at Barcelona, the Circuit de Catalunya. Plenty to talk about in this week's Lewis Round F1 update. So Vitaly Petrov has taken the 2012 seat at Caterham this year. A lot of speculation surrounding him with that vacant seat. However, many people thought maybe it didn't work out because Jarno Trulli was testing for the team at Jerez, but it wasn't to be for the Italian. He looks very much to be retiring from Formula 1. But Vitaly Petrov signed last Friday. I think a valid asset to the team, bringing in some money, sponsorship money as well. So a big drama in the pre-season test already that Lotus F1 have had to suspend their involvement this week in the pre-season. It's a problem with the chassis. They've made a new chassis for this week, and instantly Romain Grosjean, the driver, on Tuesday said the car was very unstable and very unpredictable. And there isn't too much detail into what was going on, but the car wasn't itself. So they brought the car back to the garage. Originally they were going to get the first chassis delivered overnight, but however, after doing some simulation runs, they felt it was best to fully sort out the issue and come back all guns firing in the third pre-season test. So the team principal of Mercedes, Ross Brawn, has said that Formula 1 may end up regretting the fact that Red Bull, Ferrari, as well as Toro Rosso and Sauber have left FOTA. The four teams who left at the end of last year because of the argument over the RRA, which is basically effectively the research resource restriction agreement, so teams don't spiral out of control of spending lots of money, basically to make it a fairer game and also cheaper. But those four teams left feeling as though they couldn't, the way things were going, they couldn't sustain themselves in this group. Ross Brawn quoted to say he feels as though the group, all the teams were a lot stronger when outside criticism was put onto F1. However, now that there isn't really a criticism towards F1, the teams feel as though they can sort of stretch their wings, like Ferrari and Red Bull. Sauber, of course, are Ferrari, get their engines from Ferrari, and Toro Rosso, who are sister team to Red Bull, had no choice in the matter really to leave as well. But Ross Brawn saying hopefully there can be a resolvement in the future, as we don't want it to carry on because it could jeopardise the sport in the long term. So Nico Hülkenberg, he's the new driver at Force India. He said he feels a lot more comfortable in his new surroundings. Although he's been with the team for a year now, he has been test driver, so this is his first real, since he was with Williams in 2010, that he's got to go through a whole pre-season test program and racing again in his second season. He said he's bedding in well with the team. He did feel a bit, it just takes time with anything, and he's progressing even more. He said on the second pre-season test as well, it was a solitary day for himself and the team. And he also said once again, it's good that I drove so many laps in the first day of the pre-season test at Barcelona as well, and only just a few tenths shy of Sebastian Vettel's time. Nico Hülkenberg looking strong. I still think Paul di Resta will be the strongest when it comes to the first race. Hülkenberg, racecraft-wise, you'll still need to sort of learn that again, but I'm sure Hülkenberg will give Paul di Resta a good run. I think we can see a cracking season with these two drivers at Force India. So finally, a personal roundup. I think the way pre-season test is going at the moment, McLaren and Red Bull looking strong, comfortable, not really saying anything bad, keeping it quiet, which is always a good thing. Teams not sort of bragging about anything, which the mid-teams tend to do to try and sort of gain a bit of sponsorship. The top teams, though, they normally keep if they're going well, they keep it quiet. They don't want to give any of their rivals sort of any clues to how they're getting on, so they keep it quiet. But Ferrari still struggling after the first day and even the second day at Barcelona, struggling. They're still data collecting. trying to understand how their car works. At the moment, still not too unsure. They keep on saying there's plenty of potential, but I guess we'll have to wait and see with that. Also, I think Force India looked very strong as well. Yes, their lap time yesterday could have been on a light fuel run, and even today, Nico Hulkenberg fastest time today. But I think Force India generally will make improvements from last year's car. I definitely think at the beginning of the year, and perhaps the whole season, they could be challenging Lotus F1, even Mercedes. But we expect Lotus F1 to make a jump, so too Mercedes from last year. So it is going to be hard for Force India to challenge these teams, but I definitely feel as though Force India have made an improvement. I think so far as well, Williams completing the most laps so far, all of the teams, but not setting any fiery lap times either. You've got Sauber, they're always going to be strong, Toro Rosso, they'll be all making improvements from last year, so it's going to be a very close beginning of the season. Look forward to more news, plenty more updates to come though in the coming weeks. So that's it for today's F1 update. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back on next week. Please rate, comment and subscribe to this channel and video. Can you also like and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, names of course in the description bar, and website www.LewisRoundF1.co.uk.